Tony Stark aka Iron Man stopped Thor from doing the first snap after the time heist in Avengers Endgame because of Thor's mindset at the time. 5 years after their lose to Thanos and the destruction of the Infinity Stones, the remaining MCU's heroes banded back together when the idea of the time heist came up to thanks to Scott Lang. The complicated mission demanded they travel back to different points in the MCU history to collect the Infinity Stones before the Mad Titan got them. Despite a couple of snappers along the way, they were ultimately successful in securing the crystals, giving them the opportunity to bring back those who were busted by the villain Decimation in Avengers Infinity War. Using Stark's nano-tech gauntlet, Smart Hulk wielded the power of all 6 Infinity Stones and brought back the victims of Thanos' snap. Prior to the collective decisions to let the green creature don the metal glove, there was a brief commotion among the heroes. Thor insisted that he wanted to do the snap and begged his colleagues to allow him to do it so he can contribute the cause. However, they collectively decided that the God of Thunder wasn't right for the job. Being a demigod, Thor is capable of using all 6 Infinity Stones at the same time, perhaps even more so than the Hulk. Granted that he did gain weight in the 5 years since the ruthlessly beheaded Thanos in the garden after learning that he destroyed all the gems. He is still physically strong. This is evinced by the way he partook in Endgame climactic battle. Tony was particularly adamant in not letting Thor do the snap, but instead of simply thinking about his fellow Avengers' well-being, there is a deeper reason why he didn't want the God of Thunder to do it. Tony initially refused to be involved in the time heist, not because he was skeptical that it could work, but because he didn't want to risk losing the life he'd built over the last 5 years. This makes sense considering that this was the only time he actually had a semblance of a normal family dynamic, considering his tumultuous relationship with his father, Howard Stark, growing up. Tony knew that to be able to secure his future with his wife Pepper Potts and the daughter Morgan, there should be a clear directive to the Infinity Stones with what the wielder wants to happen. As it is, snapping or any other physical act doesn't activate the power of the Infinity Stones. It's the mind that mandates what the stones do. So, while Thor is physically capable of wielding the power of all elemental crystals, he wasn't in the best of mindset to send them clear instructions with what needed to happen. Throughout the film, he was unstable, going through emotional breakdowns every now and then as he continues to grapple with his catastrophic failure to stop Thanos in Infinity War. Knowing a thing or two about mental health issues, having suffered PTSD after the Battle of New York, Tony didn't want Thor to potentially mess up what could be their only chance in using the Infinity Stones. This is also the reason why Tony gave Smart Hulk a final reminder before the letter put on the gauntlet saying, "You remember, everyone Thanos snapped 5 years ago. We are just bringing them back now, today. Don't change anything in the last 5 years." Ironically, prior to Avengers Endgame, Thor would have been the hero's unanimous choice to do the secondary snap, as he was both physically and mentally equipped to accomplish the job. Without the 5-year break that allowed Bruce Banner to meld his two different personalities into Smart Hulk, they would have been stuck with a mindless green rage monster. Give this, there is no way any other Avenger would want him putting on the Star Gauntlet, especially given the lengths they went through to acquire the Infinity Stones.